Are you worried that Medicaid or the nursing home will take all your loved one's assets? Most people are. I'm Kellen Bryant, board certified elder law attorney by the Florida Bar, and I've helped thousands of families with this very issue. And in this video, I'm going to explain the very basics of the Medicaid asset rules so that you'll have some beginning peace of mind and you'll be ready for the more advanced concepts. So let's dive in. First, let's just think about why we have Medicaid asset rules. So what happens when you apply for Medicaid? Your loved one's nursing home payment may go from $12,000 down to their income level. So if there is a $2,000 income, that the state has to fulfill the nursing home for that $10,000 gap. And so the question is for the government is, do we pay for the care or do you pay for the care and you and your assets and savings? And originally when nursing home Medicaid came about, this was the debate and the argument. And what has happened is over time, people began just giving their money away way back when. And then the government said, hey, that we don't like this rule. And so all these spin down and asset rules came in about. And they got more and more complicated, and therefore you needed attorneys. So the Medicaid asset rules are there so that the idea is for people with certain assets, they can still get coverage, but people with way too many assets cannot get Medicaid coverage, and the people that have zero savings can get coverage. So that's why we have Medicaid asset rules. What are these asset rules? Your accountable assets need to be under the asset limit the month you seek benefits without having any improper transfers within the last 60 months. We got that three-part rule. Now let's start putting it all together. The asset limit for Medicaid in Florida nursing homes is $2,000 for a single person. And then if there is a married couple, the spouse at home can have $157,920 worth of assets. That's called 158. Under the asset rules, if we want Medicaid the month we apply, the countable assets need to be under those limits. And then we need to get there without any improper transfer. Now, then we have to think about what's countable. So each asset, house, life insurance, bank account, brokerage account, retirement account, gold, silver, stuff in your house, all those types of things could be considered an asset if it has value that can be liquidated or sold. Under the Medicaid rules, we look at each asset that the applicant has and determine whether or not it counts towards those asset limits or does not count towards those asset limits. So when we say it counts towards the $2,000 asset limit, that means the account or the asset is countable. If it doesn't count towards the asset limit, and it is non-countable. And that means you can keep it as is, maybe, or you might have to add a beneficiary on it, but the applicant can keep the asset and still qualify for Medicaid if it's non-countable. So those are the basic countable and non-countable asset rules. Now we need to get under that asset limit that I spoke of earlier, and we need to do that without any improper transfers within the last 60 months. I have a video on the look back period, which is what I'm referencing here. And so the Medicaid rules look to see when money leaves the account. Why? Did the applicant get something in return or was it a gift? It's just that simple. And when people get in trouble is when they try to be cute with it. And so there are very finite rules to make these asset transfers allowable. And the big paradigm is mom's money can be used for mom. Now let's look at the actual rules. So if I want to look at the actual Medicaid rules, we do Florida Medicaid DCF manual. This will get us the actual Medicaid rules. I'm doing it through the Google route in case anything changes from the time you watched this video and the time I made it. Under the Medicaid manual, this is what the caseworkers with the Department of Children and Families look at to determine your case and about your assets. And then inside the 1600 section, the rule book on assets. And I'm just going to look at the table of contents here. There's 57 pages of this. It gets incredibly detailed because your situation is different from somebody else who applies an hour after. And so what the rules do is they break out whether or not an asset's countable. And if it's countable, how do we determine its value? And how do we go through each type of specific asset that some people can have? And then we're looking at the transfers of assets and the rules pertaining to transfers. And then if the rules change year to year, the amounts that I've stated in this video change, you go down to Appendix A9, And you'll see the financial eligibility standards at the time of making this video is we're looking at ICP, that's the nursing home Medicaid, 2,000 limit. And then we're looking at for spouse at home is $157,920. If you found this video helpful, the next video to help you would be the video I've made on document verification and the documents needed for a Medicaid application. Please go check that one out. Thanks.